Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. And we want to welcome you to another edition of we weekly podcast show, the Max Tribune Sport Salone Sport Show. And inside the show today, we got lots for discuss as we cricket under 19 boys don't promote from Division 2 to Division 1. Now the ICC level side, and we'll get to play the tournament next year for qualify to the World Cup inside Namibia. And also we under 17 boys then been bow out respectfully from the WAFU Zone A tournament after where they lost by penalty shootouts 6-5 to Senegal. We go look at them performance and waiting that can help how that go help for develop with grassroots football in the country. We go also talk about we players them abroad as one of our brother way na Toure don't get some rumor about Bayern Munich. We get interest for snap them up from in club where they play for now France. And we go also talk about Augustine Williams where score inside the match where play, and also Usman Kakebi make a vital assist for help QPR win and move to third place inside the match where they win 2-1 against Reading. And one big one is that the African Cup in Sydney will start next weekend. We get a coach for Salone, we winner last year. He will tell you more about preparation. And we get Emmanuel, as usual, the co-host for the podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. Good evening, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Good evening, Magdalene, and to we family, we viewers how they on a kusha on a kaba on a do.
Yeah, Coach. Good evening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Always pleasure for joining when I show them. So thank you.
Thanks for coming. As we prepare for the show proper, we go also talk to Igwe Kondos of FANT Salone as then they get preparation around the tough them when they fix na Salone inside different field them across the country. Well, they don't start na Freetown with SS Camp, and now they fix one na Mauritania, and that particular venue where they fix them now for ensure say youth them able play football. We go online now for talk to Igwe Kondos. We go tell you more about the venue and the thing the way FANT Salone don't they do. Good morning, Kondos, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and good morning to viewers.
All right, Kondos, as you don't represent FANT Salone for a very long time, but for the first time with the interview the project, begin for tell we, but what's in the latest with FANT Sierra Leone?
Yeah, thank you very much. Representing FANT Salone for quite a long time means I found a member of FANT Sierra Leone. And the good things that we don't do inside 2021, of course, we have to take Didier Drogba, when Fatmata Toure, when I call Drogba when I female player. So United States of America, and I have a 3-in-1 program. One, we introduce them to the bike, that means one for join the military, and at the same time, then a university, and then the planner for the university team. And the good news now that the people of US, of course, don't appoint them as a female representative, women as a female ambassador. I mean, for tap more players now the country for good to years, for further the education and football as well. That's now one of the good things that we will do inside this year.
No, they're really fine.
Well, the good news is that a CM fit, I mean, the military are option, but at the same time, football is career. And with the age, you know, say, for make them up to football. So a desire choose the football ahead of the military. So now football, they play at the university where they inside United States of America. So now that make the first question they may ask from us in America. Now that if in kind caliber of female players and then now this country Salone, they say yes, players and students Salone, we're good past interest. So that means that they appoint now will be the female representation or the female ambassador for female player inside United States for Sierra Leone. And we support for Candice October because the people as I talk to you presently, then they inside Sierra Leone present as I talk to you. Friday, then we get leadership seminar with the staff of FANT Salone. And as I speak to you, you interview them and they wait for. Then they take me to Toke Beach. We will get another leadership seminar with the staff them and out for 3 steps. Then at the end of the day, we dey go visit the artificial turf hold of Mauritania as on the 70 to 75%. The 5% completion, now the tower not ended for put the glue, but we don't pray them. Then the 20%, again for do the dressing room and also the 1,000-seater pavilion. But the good news is that the Ministry of Sport, through the help of the Minister of Sport, Ibrahim we don't do the 1,000-seater, what them put from the stadium, what them renovate, and also them even give the substitute bench and the referee substitute bench will represent the use. So that now the good news. But in November, first week in November, we dey commission the field na Mauritania field, what them call the Monjasa Park. Yes, we always think about that. And what we're talking about, when we get the help, definitely go do so. But the people of Denmark as well, we don't offer away another 2 artificial turf. And the good news I will tell you, say, we did in good time with the government of Sierra Leone. And we don't go see the secretary to the president. And we have to talk with the group and present the proposal and the things that we don't do. And now even the minister, the plan for take with his excellency, the president. But then we say, we don't do something great for this country for 10 good years. So that the day in the pipeline, and we get the intention, and we're ready for do. I'm not only the intention, again our possession, already support. So the wait now for get meeting with His Excellency the President as the minister don't make the appointment already. And if God grew in November, now the president instead of to go commission that grass day that the Mauritania play the field. And then we'll think now for another venue where they're going to make proposal to win. But what I will tell you, Francis and Florence, now that beyond us not a football no more in this country, yeah. And we expand out to handball, where we don't get about 500 female handball players then. And then also we get the female representatives all the day. Where then are Konneh, and then are Bo, McKinney, Maisheka, and free to get East Station, and then also we get Juba. And all this I make mention so we they give they give them one handball court. And some day in progress presently. So I be say we at FANT Sierra Leone, now the country we elect. Can we go to and say we elect the unity, freedom, and justice. And not to also go above and people them. So that make we they do for develop this country because we aim now for develop this country and develop the people them who don't take sport as their career.
Okay, Kondos, as you say, you busy, but one more thing we're going to ask you. Now, the area of the male football, we see a couple of years ago, now have some players that will go out. One we stand out now, Christian Moses, where una be help a lot with that. So, any other plans for scout youth players, them male and female, for go for trials in Europe or go for permanent deals?
Well, this time we could say football is good education. And that make always the first players that within a project for me to engage into education. Yes, I will confirm that to you. This can where the people in council, they can look now for 4 boys them who don't sit and watch and get a very good result will go for take them to university. And the good news now that the one they will sit watch this year will get a very, very good result. So all the players don't go for choose. They'll go for meet the requirement for go to the university. And then 4 boys out they can choose presently in April next year, 2023. Then go then a US back for further education and play football as well. So that I will confirm to say yes.
All right. Thank you for talking to us, Kondos. We'll forget you later on so that we go know where to pull from the meeting.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, long time, been a very long time. And I thank God that you still pursue your career when you're a sport journalist when they do well inside this country. And then we hope for meet one by we hope for meet. But honestly, I really did not get the sad news, but I be say, boy, thank God that I lost my wife a month ago. 31 years of age, and I'm an athlete. You know, I lost Sam. But now, so that is life.
Yeah,
but life is gone. So thank you very much.
My sympathy, Kondos, and we pray that God get and good road.
Amen.
All right, that's now Igwe Kondos. Now one man we have to work with closely with FANT Salone. Quick, come. Maggie, who's idea? Come meet me up versus camp. All right, Emmanuel, listen to what Kondos say from the female football to the artificial turf where they spread around now the venues. Them one day SS camp already completed, and they try for complete the one Mauritania. And he talk about handball court there where they try for put, because every side pass na some people can kick ball, but other people can want play different sports, but facility not there. What you want to say about this development?
And Magdalene, once again, thank you. And it's a good thing for me to hear the voice of the legend always at the media. And Iwe Kondos has been one of the voice of the sports and media from time memory. I remember when we were kids, when they do the jingles and the like. Until this point in time, it's good to hear him back again, and especially within the sporting world for Salone, you don't put good effort, good strength for make sure that the messages, the details that we want forget out there are given out in a precise manner. And many people don't go to with elected it and they practice well in the sporting area. In terms of waiting fan Salone they do today, not a surprise thing for me for Igwe Kondo's in voice on that. Because Namawe Asabi when he been there as PRO for Mighty Blackpool, the way he able to come and work with the community. Now one of the community movers and shakers in Sierra Leone, me know. Because if you go down Kobe, you call the name of Igwe Kondos, no picking no go the under Sabian. You go Eastern Police, you call the name of Igwe Kondos, nobody no go the other way Sabian. Now my way they touch all angle, you go to Kelomly, everybody know him. So in representation in sports at that country, they big. But if we come back again in terms of this artificial stuff, now a very good project for me, Magdalene, way than to do. But at the look at the sustainability of short things, as you waiting up with what we've been getting now, we academy I end up for damage because we're not able to put up good maintenance. So it's a good start at least for make we get this one and more return and SS camp. And SS camp, there was one team where we been calm. I just forget it. And where the Iwe Kondos been the manage, they were using SS camp for training. And if they're able to transform that pitch day to artificial turf, it can help the people within the mountain areas for get good side for play. Because I remember, that SS camp back there when the rains then come, a very terrible for play football and most of the boys and they get injured and not able to pursue their career because some of the injuries were in the sustain. We not get the good medical facilities that are country for put them back into good shape and play football. So bringing the synthetic into place, trust me, it will make we able to play football during the raining season and the dry season. But my own view is this, Magdalene. How are we gonna able to maintain this pitch? It's not just of us having them in the country, but the maintenance structure, taking into reference what's happened with our academy. So for me, FANT Sierra Leone, I give them a credit to that, but please, the maintenance culture, they also take her into consideration.
All right. The maintenance culture, yes, is very much important for such facilities. Now we guest today when Coach Ibi. Coach Ibi, they prepare for the African Cup now Sydney, and today we see the grand opening ceremony will take place now the comeback stadium, and we'll see a lot of things that will happen. But basically, you'll be one of the coaches that will lift trophy last year in a remarkable first season, and you set a record. You beat your opponent by first half 5-0. They still need to play second half again. So tell me what now the preparation for the girls team, the Sierra Leone girls team.
Well, this year, a very exciting year to come ahead because what I've been doing is been doing a lot of developments of younger players. So what's happening is they bring some young players around the experienced players. Them. So it give them that insight for me to further their football. So we get some very up and coming young players playing in very good clubs here. That's what I'm very excited to see them perform. They've been very good over the last 5-6 weeks of training preparation. Everybody they're on the same page. The positivity is there. Good spirits is there. So we're all excited now to defend the cup, and hope say we'll bring them back again.
All right. So in preparing, and you mentioned that everybody's excited to play. Is it that you're able to keep the same team, or you get new addition into the squad?
Well, yes, a bit of both. And I say sometimes you can't always keep the same number of players, but we upgrade in certain areas of the team where we can make stronger this year. So we add some youth in the wide areas and in the wings, and some good playmakers in the middle, and some striking options there. So that one day is very good. We get some depth. We just now have a couple of friendly matches them in the upcoming weeks before the tournament starts, which is the 29th. So I'd say we'll get the support for the people from Senegal to watch, and watch some good football play from the players then.
All right. So going back to last season, what are some of the positive way you take from the tournament?
What I see is from last year, the growth of the players then as the tournaments was going along. We've been getting some good results early on. We were able to stick together. We were able to get the best of all the players we have by me identifying which player can play in which position, and also having that strong foundation of the experienced players with the young players. Also, the positive side of it was not just the footballing, but also having that culture to be on the same page to win. So that was the most positive part of those things, and everybody was happy about that.
All right, I'll continue to stay with we, coach. We will come to you back later. Come to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, we see the opening ceremony today. A lot of people are against that because we think it's an open ceremony for be ceremonial and a match should be played. That's how it's been happening in other competitions. But today we see a new style. But at the end of the day, everybody be appreciate the outcome. So first of all, tell we waiting you pick out for the event today.
And first and foremost, I think we need a correction to what's waiting happen today. Instead of an open ceremony, I suppose it should be called a match pass.
Yeah.
Because what we did here was a match pass and showcase that we as Africans, we are part of Wanderers. Like Wanderers, we are just trying to showcase their activities within the community.
No, you are part of Wanderers. I'm Sydney.
You know, I'm a proud fan of Wanderers, and kudos for us for a big victory today.
Because we lost our match against yesterday in our new stadium. You changed. That's bad, Emmanuel.
Support and not get transfer. Sydney United for now. I suspend my support.
Okay.
I'm with Wanderers the winning team for now.
Okay.
Magdalene, how can we lost in a new stadium? Come on, it's not done. I can't accept that.
It's possible.
I can't accept that. For now, I'm with the winning side, which is Wanderers, and which are really giving us support towards the community in terms of the youth getting back into sports, utilizing their energy in a positive manner. And this, for me today, it's a wake-up call for the organizers. Like, there's much we can get from Wanderers. You know, we come out and support them and make this match to the very colorful Magdalene. And we see again, the supporting and tactics we Wanderers use. Then bring with Bata system into the game for can showcase with talent. You see we cultural dancers and come on board. That was very good. It shows that sports can be diversified. We see the young kids them come into the pitch and walk around, and that'll be a big opportunity again. Not all man get this opportunity for Waka Dong at Combank Stadium Magdalene. So for Kandong and Waka at that pitch there, it'll give you that relief that if you're not being serious in what you do, the boys will be serious. In 1 or 2 years, I should be playing at this level. For me, it was a good idea, but at the time when them be used for open ceremony, and for the user as a match pass, that was should have been a good context. And for me, waiting happen, so trust me, Magdalene, it help especially the young ones. Then, if they get a drive, this is a point of hunger for them. Say, you know what, I deserve to be playing here. I deserve to be here, and even more than here. Because if you watch through the changing room, the dressing room, when they walk through Magdalene, that feeling alone, as a sportsman, where they create in you, if you're able to take that drive there to another level, no more again for make people begin to play lower level. If you begin to think, this is a wake up call that in the next 2 or 3 years, people for the buy tickets from the local community for can support me. I think this was one of the highlights when me pick up for today match pass.
All right, thanks for correcting us. It's a match pass, I accepted. And I think, what do you make up of the turnout, the teams that will come out? We see lots of the South Sudanese, where we go say, not and get a venue there, but because a lot of them, they hit Wanderers. We see Cape Verde, we see Sierra Leone, we see Ivory Coast. A lot of people come. Why you they creepy throat? Of course, Salone, but then it is what it is. So, seeing that kind of excitement, how you think they then go transform them into the stands, being that the competition they start proper next week?
For me, the transformation is as simple as this, Magdalene. First and foremost, it's a wake-up call that Mr. Bernard and his executive forget a good officiating side. Because that's I don't begin see. Because if you see waiting the boys and display from this attendance today, me, I was surprised. Because we all know, Magdalene, when it comes towards attendance, we know you always left for shopping shots shows there. The boys only want for go and play, kick this ball. But when it comes towards like them gatherings there, they never get interested in it. So for make you begin see the boys are now changing their face look that, you know what? Louis self go participate in other man their own business where they help for develop their own career and put you in a camera. Like it's a new generation we are walking into now. You can remember years back, Magdalene, trust me, forget that this number of Africans for do shots rally. It's very challenging. Even when you call AGM, they know they go. All the way to and care about for kick the ball. But with this, that you see the one for showcase, they are proud of what they are doing. And that they tell you see now, as a community again, we are growing. We are proud of what we are doing. We are realizing that we are now major contributors in the society, in the community. We are ready to make a difference in whatsoever we are doing. And we are now a household name in sports. So the Australian government and the Australian community should also look at us as contributors, because we are ready to change the dynamics. We are ready to give a good looks to our community now through sport. And these boys, you see, they are young and very talented and promising. So this is what I'm seeing to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. And to see our finals being played in that comeback stadium.
Okay. And that will be which team?
Definitely that will be for Cape Verde.
And that will be Sierra women. Sierra women team.
No, no, that's correct.
Correct.
That's correct.
Cape Verde, you can go with the coach, eh? Go.
I'll be busy. Very busy.
Very, very, very busy. And Coach Chibi, you're gonna have a lot of work because I'm just looking at it, like finishing your coaching session in the morning and coming to play. I'm like, wow, this guy. You need to have super energy, bros.
Yes.
He used to do it last season, and it was all good.
It was all good. See, when it comes to football, football is an industry where you do whatever it takes.
Yeah,
do whatever it takes.
You should, because a lot of people around football have passion, and it's because of the passion that people are sticking around it. So Coachy, today Yusuf be a part of the match pass, and what do you make up of what you see, and how you think this go transform the perception of Africans playing soccer in Australia?
Well, I feel saying this is a good step, because this is not a first of different experience. Like what Emmanuel in talking say, where they go inside the stadium today and you see the field, you see the facilities, you see the atmosphere itself. It inspired the young people and the young up and coming player therefore be at that level, to be around that type of standard of football, in terms of the facilities and the presentation. So I believe that it's definitely a good thing. We just obviously will have to build upon that in terms of maybe, like I said, playing a match in there itself. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's something that will, be in the
yeah,
forecast. But most importantly, it's very inspirational for some and motivating for young up and coming players to be in a venue and actually see the facilities closely.
All right. Okay, then let's dive to cricket, Emmanuel. We see the Sierra Leone cricket under 19 team being get to play 4 matches in the run-up of the qualification for the cricket under 19 World Cup. But unfortunately, then go to the semis and they began for loss to Kenya after they lost earlier to Nigeria in the group, then lost to Kenya in the semifinals. But we see after that also they be qualified because they win 2 matches earlier against Botswana and Rwanda, and that's been good for give them a better chance. So the team don't promote now to Division 1 and then go play next year. Looking at the performance of the boys, you think any improvement take place in cricket going back from here's and other players that be don't perform?
Yeah, and Magdalene, to be sincere, I'm impressed with what crickets are doing presently. And for me, it's a progress. It's a step in the right direction. Because if you remember back the years of and Lamy Lanson, now is the present, I think, captain, and Emmanuel Pessima, and this lady, Linda
The
Bull. Yeah,
approach,
you see.
you know,
So,
Abbas Blah,
Blah,
Solomon Williams, these are
Williams,
household names.
household names, you know, for make we able get their names and they for maintaining the performance, we need to get sober replacement within the youth system, Magdalene. And these under 19s, they are the future for the national team. So with this outstanding performance we don't put up, so it means that in the next 1 year or 2, we don't get plenty replacements for mandate at the national team of cricket. And cricket never be a disappointment to Sierra Leone, Magdalene. We all know that. That whenever they go out and they give an outstanding performance from time memorial, it's just unfortunate that we never give them the attention we them truly deserve. And we get for top this too. That Sierra Leone we number 1 sports in football. Then we come to athletics. Then others.
Others, including your own table tennis.
so not a cricket alone the struggle is, Magdalene. Others also the struggle. But it's high time that, the government at least give some attention to this team. That when they come back home, if they able put them together, Magdalene, give them good structural trainings. Trust me, then we're able to do well for we in the Division 1 competition next year. But if they allow this squad come back, Magdalene, and not maintain continuous effective training, we could just go back no more and say, hey, Salone. But it's high time that we begin celebrating. Congratulations to the boys. Depending on what we come back and do, now we host.
Okay. All right, Emmanuel. Let me take another news. We see the Southern Arena done the pitch shape, although they not do the pitch it. But we see the pavilions almost don't be completed, and this not the Southern Arena where they been a bow on the watch fly of Babadi Kamara. And well, we all know say get for be a home to Bow Rangers as that one of the aims. And other people go get access as well. But looking at the venue now and the stage where it all reach, we all be the look at what you get for look like, how this venue get for Talek. So you see any changes? You see any improvement?
Maggie, remember the last I've been telling you concerning this venue that trust me, for me, my expectation was a bit shaken, was a bit disappointed. Because I've been telling you that these are a state of the art design. But they expected this for them be much more bigger in terms of seating capacity than it is now.
It's 6,000.
Yeah, 6,000. Remember, I was telling you that facility not only get for be used, remember, for Bow Rangers. If you remember, CAF president been there in Guinea, one of the key things we talk for make nations and begin get the manpower for host African nation tournaments or what, they need what infrastructures, proper infrastructures. So we for begin put structures in another country in Magdalene when we go able to compete tomorrow or show and say yes, we want host with other country than the African Nations Cup. And it's all there for start with waiting we get who we call infrastructure. So Bow Rangers, that's good for being home, but remember, in terms of national use, we go on for user as a nation for play matches today. So I mean they expected like Babadi and in team for me don't try for increase on the capacity of this stadium.
Yeah,
so
but
in time memorial,
you
Bow
know,
Rangers get for big pass out with the see and so today. And if
yeah,
you take
but
a look at the way Bow they rally around that team, 6,000 not go do for people in Abo.
looking at this now, there is always room for addition. We don't see stadium there the way big past this, they increase the later. You don't think say there is a room for improvement later where they can just add something and improve?
Magdalene and Salone will come out. We know the system, Magdalene. Since we get Sheikh Stephen Stadium, what improvement we ever see the Magdalene? We know we country, we seen an unplant, it done. Maintenance and development of any infrastructure, very, very difficult. Everything from how them plant them, Magdalene, so they left. Even the Bow Stadium, Magdalene, they get room for expansion. But what have they done?
20,000.
Yeah, what have they done? So you see, so this we can call these are mini projects, Magdalene. And if we want for begin compete for bigger things in future, we get for tend for stay away from them mini projects. Bow Rangers is a Premier League club, Magdalene. It's a Premier League club. So we want to make them begin get capacities and we go able. You know the picture me they look at for showcase we in the international realm to my that yes, Salone Grebu A stand for say yes, we don't begin get infrastructure for host nations cup. When tomorrow if the country wide user stadium, Bow Rangers will get a percentage because Salone na rent to go rent them to them. You see, we not go be free. So that will be a revenue generation for them tomorrow Bambai. So that na my own take, my own look that indeed the management, Mr. Babade and the management for me don't look in a way like for making like then 20,000 Magdalene at least, you know,
Okay.
then we for me don't able show and for international side.
All right. Now let we go back to you know, on Friday we boys that began to knock them out of the under 17 WAFU Zone A tournament where now been the pathway to the CAF under 17 championship waiting for host next year in Algeria. But unfortunately for Sierra Leone, after a nail-biting encounter or clash against the Senegalese, where now we all rivals, you know, always Senegal can knock we out, beat we anyhow. But we see we boys that be stand up to the task and go up to extra time and lost to penalty shootout. Just one man began for miss. Looking at the match itself, Emmanuel, is there any improvements in this squad? Let's look first at how the boys them move on to the tournament, and how they'll be the play and the coaching strategies and all? Yeah, Emmanuel?
Yes, Magdalene. First and foremost, you see these boys, I want to give them a big thumbs up and a big congratulations. And down to the coaching staff of the under-17, I think it's a good work done from my own point of view. You know, these boys then put up a very good fight and make us proud back home. And it shows that the youth system done the work, Magdalene. I remember all this while we done the talk concerning the youth in sports. And if you observe this year or this particular time in Sierra Leone, we get more involvement of youthful competitions there. So me don't look at and say these are a very sensitive time in our country, that sport or stakeholders them for make better decisions than now. If not, it go hard for me we will get Mohamed Kaloneh replacement there for the next 10 years if we miss this timing now. Because the raw potentials of we nations are being displayed at this point in time. You go through athletics, you go through cricket, you go through volleyball, and we see them now, the youth. So if the sporting administrators are able to put heads together on how for manage and transition this youth into the senior level, we will get a better professional side. You see the boys in Magdalene, they put up a very outstanding fight against Senegal, which always dominates with. But this particular match, you've been seeing at a 50-50. And we're going to a post-game penalty shootout, whereby, you know, we were first in the advantage. The Senegalese enforced missed. We were supposed to take the advantage, and we missed. And at the end of the day, Abu Kurmaino for kick the post. And that was a very good penalty shot, but it hits the post and we miss. It's football, magnet. At the end of the day, it's just going to be one winner. We are not, the boys are not a loser, Magdalene. They represent us very, very well. And I expect the FA, Magdalene, that if we're able to find a way for make we able to get them boys them into radar. Because if we lost this squad, remember I've been telling about the under-17, the days of we'll be able to produce Umaru Zengele and the likes. This is another squad we'll be able to get some of them players and they again in the next 2 to 3 years. But if we lost this squad, Magdalene, it could be very difficult. Them boys, if they able to create something like a coaching camp, where in the way we did and train them, because the chemistry is already there. It's just more opportunity and exposure. And you give them like 2-3 years team chemistry, we will go get a formidable national team.
Okay. So that's for maybe my next question, like what's in the FA for do. So if you for suggest, what do you think say them for do in terms of ensuring and keep them boys? I know just get for keep them like that. In England, in Spain, in Germany, we see them get like the Youth Premier League, like you could say United under 23, they play Arsenal, or Everton under 21, they play Aston Villa under 21, take to the under 17 level. So how you think say this go benefit to boys them in terms of establishing a youth league where go be ongoing in the country, just like the Salone Premier League when at the top flight?
You see, Magdalene, this I can talk saying that you know the best sporting journalist in that country. Day. You sabi this business.
I know they right now.
You sabi this business. You just don't answer the question, Magdalene. This is a wake-up call for we Premier League teams with the FA for support them. You know, if you take a look of them, Manchester United, even the senior team, then get a team B. Where you lost form in the team A, you go pick up your training form from the team B and make it into team A. You can see players and then they graduate from the academy, come to team B, they make it into team A. You know, just like how we play now, we go to call the reserve at the team B, then you get the first grade at the team A. So then teams they also for able to get like an under 17. I remember when we've been small, Magdalene, and you know, then the way we daddy them they take we for go watch game that stadium where the Eastern Lions mighty Blackpool, and before then they can't play. Something like the under 17 or the under 23. Now then first can play. If Blackpool for play Eastern Lions 5 o'clock, We see the young people then them force they can play maybe along then 3 o'clock, so don't get open. Then force they can play. Then before then the senior players and they can play. Then by the time when the game they do, we know say Warren Church and Akuto then get for change the glass we did it. Because then get for Stoner and get for Fetty and broke the glass we did it. So we've been landing fund and they pan football. So the same thing with them for do like at least FC Calon gets them. Eastern Lions self builder, Mighty Blackpool, Port Authority, you know, get them boys that get the youth system, the under 23 or under 17, make a youth competition for them. So at the end of the day, Magdalene, the boys are easy back for get together. So like when the season then go on the seasonal break, you can call them boys and they easily from the youth league then, call a national training camp, then play. You request for one international friendly match, you play. You get what effective youths on that 17, on that 23. You know, they add for getting teams and because now that's other nations them to do. We made them, they will pick up them boys. But if we allow them, then go back into their family life, then that make up to today, we know we'll get Mohamed Kalonde replacement because we didn't miss the youth system, Maggie.
All right, that's it for the under 17 boys. Congratulations. The last time Sierra Leone being exceptional in an under 17 competition was in 2003, where the likes of Umaro Zengele Bangura, Okomi, Medo, you get the other Medo in a Medo Partizan.
Yeah.
I'm not left for call the other Medo in other name.
Riziga, call her Riziga.
Riziga, yeah. Medo Riziga, you know, the Obimeziga Junior, all those guys, you know, the Patrick Bantamoy.
Bantamoy, exactly.
And that will be small. You know, make an online a true explanation with a list one, couldn't it? But they did well. They went to that competition, play against country like Spain and Finland I think we beat was it Nigeria or so and go to the finals.
To the finals.
Between
1-0, yes.
Yeah, Cameroon beat 1-0. We still qualify to the World Cup and we go Spain between something like 3-1 or so. And then we come up, but that was the tournament we saw the likes of Fabregas,
exactly.
And we saw because we on midfielder. Way after that tournament, the likes of Manchester United show interest for Samuel Ballet. Since we young player, they're not a better agent, better manager, by then they die out. So that was good. Anyway, it was good. I see Jabi they watch we Jabi you know go match past they also be there. All right. Because we go have a Coach Shibi go rest, you get for play, you get for train the guys there. We get friendly match on Wednesday. Koshi, I know say you follow Salone football small in a Chelsea, man, but you follow Salone football small. And you more conversant with youth football. You I don't know if you've watched we under 17 boys them and waiting at your assessment of the boys that we are knockout through penalty kicks but a lot of people be stamped them performance against Senegal. So is there any assessment as somebody would want to deal with youth football about the boys? Why, Coach, you getting us?
Oh yeah. I thought you were waiting for a response from Emmanuel. Well, it's I guess just one of those things where you're at that level where you're close. You know, when you get to that deciding point of penalties, the game could go either way. You know, because you've got those final people now that they have to be good on the spot, and then you have your keepers that have to just guess the right way. Those are the situation there. But for them to go forward, I think it's just about having the best talented players possible and then developing them. And then if they can play excellent in like a system, and you got the best talented players in the country, there's no reason why the team cannot go forward, because the talent is there, as we know. A lot of talent comes out of Sierra Leone. You know, and it's just now the system of play. I mean, if you go beyond that, a lot of African teams in the World Cup stage, if you were to just play the teams that are there with no tactics, it'd be a different story. But when you put tactics involved and systems in place, it's a different thing. So if we can get a good system going on, I'm sure they can go far for sure.
Yeah, one day, Coach Chibi, we know one day you return to Sierra Leone and we'll see you in the dugouts with Leon Stars.
Oh
Sure.
yes, Osman, that'll be definitely a dream.
Yeah.
All
Can
right,
never say never.
so, yeah, we look at the girls again back here, and Wusa, what you hope for achieve with the squad this year?
Well, what I've seen from the girls so far, and from what I've seen from the players so far, I believe we can be in the final with what we have. A lot of young talents, and it's very inspiring to see some of the, especially when you work with young up and coming players, and football is a priority for them. So that's the exciting thing, and obviously the exciting thing with some of the players that have been here last year, they know how to get there again. So that's my expectations is to be in the final once again, and then once you're in the final, you go all the way. So that's what we want to do. But at the same time, therefore, take it one step at a time. We prepare each and every opponent.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight, Coachy. Thanks.
No problem. I appreciate it all, and thank you once again.
All right. That's Coach Ibi. Well, we want for a rest, so but me and Emmanuel still there with tonight. We continue with the show, and we get for looking to other issues. Emmanuel, today a big day. We go come to Liverpool and Arsenal. I see Jabi all over. Jabi for where Arsenal they up. Jabi Jabi the worker now where they pass. He put in shoulder up. But
Yeah.
God will fair to case.
No, no, it's it.
We'll get about Alan. But today, FC Salone, they play Future FC of Egypt. Future FC now Egyptian based club, and then they face FC Salone at the CAF Confederation Cup preliminaries round 2. The second round, remember FC Salone been knocked out Buffaloes of Benin in the last meeting. So they prepare now, and today go be the day where they play. So Emmanuel, it's yours. The ball is in your court. Your team FC. Today you don't win one game. You move na team transfer. Now so you get for left Calon go Easter Lions.
Oh no, Magdalene. You know when you open my heart with the first two way they see in a FC Salone.
Really?
You know, we always I can tell people in terms of Salone pride in football now, we FC Salone, you know. So today we not always disappoint people in a Salone. I can tell people the way they watch FC Salone when we they play. Even when we the loss with quality, Magdalene, we always play with entertainment inside our pitch. If you go back to Salone, I'll be the first team we can ban system when we they play, where the league be resume, you know. That we not only the entertain players when at the pitch, but even at the stadium. And you get to see that today against Liberia. Because the supporters are going there, how they can say Wufefe, Bokubokuan in the Injalo numbers, but support we FC Salone as we take on the Futures FC. It really get to be a competitive match for we. Compare the level of football where they play in Egypt and their exposure, but we are confident with what we have, and we are confident with the boys, and with what we have presently, the tactician who is Mohamed Kalon, with his experience in the game and his level of commitment with the boys and relationship, I'm sure they're gonna make not only FC Salone supporters proud, but Mama Salone proud, because it's a time now for us to step up into the stage wherein people will begin look Salone again with that good eye when it comes towards football. Lately, we don't begin lost that recognition because we've not been to take part in the international matches, and for we coming back into it, Magdalene, it shows that we are ready for business, and not only for participate, but we want for participate and bring laurels to the nation. And one thing we can always ready for bring that make that difference. Now we have Salone. We have the tools, we have the resources. The only thing now with the prayer for God and blessing towards this match today.
All right. So looking at our squad, if you for select like the 11, the first 11, I don't give a job. Who that I think say go start, because we don't know future FC much, but we not go rule them out because we know say good football they play as well in Egypt, and the league standard pass we own by all means. What do you think about the squad? You know, you see the likes of Okocha, the Mawe na the command for now, where na Inzozi, Ali Conte,
yeah.
and the other players always surround on that team. You get the young Philip, you get Lampard. So what do you think about this squad and with the person where they lead them to the pitch, where now Mohamed Kalo incessant we get in club, they try for use this as in your advantage for developing your coaching skills and as well as improve on in CV. What do you make up of the squad?
And Magdalene, I think for me presently, and we get a very good squad. And FC Salone from time immemorial, so we not get Puelona substitutes we get. Anybody will come inside, they can deliver. Just a cool with the pool commodity Nado. They always know we win FC Salone, they always know we for that. You take the likes of the days of our Poboski when they play. You know, we come out they can inside, they can cause trouble for we. So I believe in Tete. You know, so a pass a call name. You know, so that guy be been tough. Tete be see and say enough for you for Poboski. So now I'm not call him. You don't call him now. Magdalene, you.
When I try no more, me I don't get team na Salone. Me team name Baum Masters.
Yeah, I think today I get to see the likes of we wonderful striker Ali Conte. We likely get for the top front. You know, most likely can tell you may not collect for call lineup and for prejudice the job and duties of that of the coaches. So whatever team then Mohamed Kalo present for we today, I'm sure it get for be a pretty good team for we. I'm sure it get for use a 4-3-3 formation today, because we get for both be offensive and defensive at the same time. Wherein if you go for white with flankers and get for running and sit and get play with a congested midfield, that game will help with today, according to waiting that they get from back home, that Kalo want to play with a congested midfield and spread out the attack with the flanks and do a finishing for away by Ali Conte. So I hope so the boys are ready and they are jittery to give us the result today that we deserve.
All right. I know say if you not predict lineup, not to score, you go predict. In a possible Nico Selo left talk give. Oh, you are ordained by God. You are ordained. Let's take short break, and when we come back, we go continue with the show. We take short break. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, we're still on the FC Calon matter, and we know FC Calon are one team we always don't they represent Sierra Leone well. Inside the last match against Buffalo, they score 1 away and 3 home, and we see Ali Conte be the star of the match. The addition of Ali Conte, how you want for describer in the FC Calon squad?
Magdalene, I can always tell you, saying that we next Poboski that one day we will get. You know, it just bring kinda, that answer we will be want na the squad. Because the Bobo so Alicon is so little. When I can say a little attacker, not the type of players anyway. We've been the lookout for and we don't get another squad. And I expect him today, for put him in number, not that scoreboard for we. If you don't make an hat-trick today, must give 2 goals today. We in name go register at that scoreboard. So for me, Magdalene, in the next years, I think say we get for see and play European football if we continue in this in good pick.
All right, let's say that FC Calon at the embassy in Salone.
Very soon, with transition system, Magdalene, we're good for that.
Okay, I'll take that. You don't win. I'll take that. Yeah. Oh, Emmanuel, get in there. Now, Nico, I go call Nico for you. I go call Nico.
Nico, I get respect for, but I don't know why young president gonna wake quick and allow him team for struggle, Magdalene.
All right, Manuel. We see the transfer window still open for the. Still with Premier League they start, so they're not.
Yeah,
but transfer window open, so people can still buy. Jabi, they disturb me in the comment section. They talk because all this talk now because Arsenal. As God go back to case. Maybe it's from today, sir. So,
no.
So the transfer window open. We see Blackpool, but the thing is in Sierra Leone know how much they buy the player them. Undisclosed fee, agree contract, undisclosed fee. So that make Musa Tomo they just grab no money. They say me I not get contract to this club, but unaga for the tell you I like now 1 million. Say talk up. Now you understand, Manchester have 50 million pound and buy that bobo, but not bad. They play fire. What's not that bobo name? Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia, so the left back.
So no matter how much small the money be, let we didn't know small. We see Blackpool on flex the most. We see the Lions and Bow Rangers and even Edwards. That surprised me. Edwards don't sign a lot of new players. Some are on loan, some come on permanent contract. So the funny thing which we deal then as Salone, not only Salone in Africa as well, apart from the North African countries, you hardly know how much they sign player for, how much they pay the player by month or by week, whether they give them allowance or not. So it's difficult for talk about we transfer them. But Emmanuel, with the transfer window now, looking at this not small picture, you see the picture big, plenty player they don't move. And one of the top transfer now the former FC man. Where for plenty people think say it trick FC for join Easter Lions. And in one day a press release come out where they say it go. If I not a press release now a letter, a farewell message to FC Yuansin. And all of a sudden, the next day we see Easter Lions issue a press statement that Samuel don't sign for we. So looking at the transfer, first not talk transfer general, how you see the addition to the squad, the team there where some of them players there don't join. You think say technical or tactical, or the teams don't just one for beef up?
Logically, for me, I think the teams and just one for beef up and add to the squad and make some one or two technical changes again in the way they want for play, because if you observe, most of the players they then signed are centered around the midfield and that of the defense area. Because Sierra Leone, you know, say if you able to play very good defensive football, you go on the counter. So then they play. You go on the counter and sit back. By nature of the standard of we pitch here where we get. Because if you go play, for example, you match then with the gun feeling like we say will soon start the play. At the end of the day, when you score, you get forfeit back for defend your games. And when they come back, that we now sleep with some of them we pitch and they can be. So most teams in the try forget a very good midfield and defense and play on the counter and score. So for me, it's like a technical beef up for each teams there for make they able get a solid squad for this year Sierra Leone Premier League. And the transfer between clubs, Magdalene, not so now it don't begin. Danny always in time memorial, it don't happen. But the most interesting part, where as you always can mention, we not can ever know the fee way they exist between the two clubs and where they can do them transfer. We don't know if now on mutual consent they can do it, or I don't know what is under the table that they are doing that they don't want us in the public to know. So that's one we go left out for further areas and for me then declare that to we. And for Samuel, you know, it reminds me back again like the days of his Frank Lampard. You know, he go first in America, from there the Man City manager bring and play against Chelsea and score. I think it's a similar deal this again where I see, you know, he left FC Johansen, gave a letter say to go back to Ghana, they appreciate blah blah waiting. They don't do for an asalo. At the end of the day, we see him penning signature with that of Eastern Lions. I was like, wow, you know, the mighty lion is back again to its shape. For me, not a surprise, Magdalene, because we know Eastern Lions and mighty Blackpool, they're good for that. For bringing Ghanaians into the team, they're very good for that. And then they tap and play where they want. Then we know we would on there around Salone football for a bit. You know, we know say they get that ability there. So I wish them good season there, and I hope say we enjoy in time the Eastern Lions as soon as we're always able to take good care of our players there.
Who are them?
But I know say you're not Kisitonian, so you can always do with Lions.
Nah, that pot authority to like kissy people. All right. So looking now at the strength of the teams there, waiting their need. You talk about lots of them try for strength and defend and attack. The midfield area, like Lions, will be very much important for them. But again, you see other clubs the way they're very dominant in the transfer. The likes of Port Authority, Cambo Eagles. There was a social media message passing around yesterday that Cambo Eagles lost their coach. Like Coach Zappa don't transfer to Lions, as we all know. And they lost a couple of players them, but no addition, nothing is like nothing going on. And it's not only Cambo Eagles, likes of FCFC, other clubs them back where the Wusum Stars, you know, they get much about them when it comes to the transfer, even FC Johansen. So you think say now the financial muscle not there, or then just one for lay low and observe things?
Magdalene, if you take, you raise up a very good point.
You other team, because you una two team now they support any corner people they support two team.
Diamond Star. You know, you make a very good observation of the teams the way you call. For example, Cambo Eagles, Magdalene. This is not a team we not ever lost players then. And not get like players there, because if you go back to the Kenema system and believe on the youth league yonder, so Cameroon will always be able to build up their squad from the youth league where they played it. And most of them key players, and they can take them and bring them come into the Cameroon Eagles team. And they can kind of play good football for the region. So for them, like, all what they need is a good structural system for the management. And I will tell you, within a couple of weeks or months, then Cable bring come young talented boys that within the region. We can kind of bring major upsets. Remember, was it 4 years ago when the youth league been they play within Kenema? You saw them be able to build up, and then comes free to the upset with FC Salone up to FC U19. You see,
win the
so,
FA Cup
yeah,
against Lions.
against Lions. You see,
the famous 1-0 FA Cup win, red versus green,
green.
at the Bowl Stadium.
So, me not surprised about that, and even the Diamond Stars, as you know, they can always make a difference. These are people that will always want for sustain, maintain their performance within the league. After the less sponsors of the Kwedu Holdings and that of the former president PC Paul Gabasakui, there are some certain shakings in terms of financial support towards the team back home. So like Diamond Stars are just there just to maintain their stake in the Sierra Leone Premier League. But remember, they were once a title contender, so you can't rule them out. Then Cable build up a good squad again within that of the Eastern region. So
yeah, but we see
all other teams, don't underestimate them. Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Zappa don't turn Diamond Star to how Arsenal on a take player and a Man City. Now so Coach Zappa don't take and then they take Diamond Star and play and they count the Eastern Lions. So you think say that's good for him as a coach, because himself as a coach, he gets a bad spell with Diamond Star, and he go Cambo Eagles wasn't like glamorous or good as well. Now coming into Lions, you see anything we got for be different or not the same Zappa as old story?
I can always tell you, Magdalene, managing a national team is different from managing a football or soccer team, because Magdalene national team, maybe the highest time we is spending are 4 weeks or 6 weeks, after which your assignment done. They balance all your activities and get for them on TV, observing and monitoring players, then status performance. Next thing, for make them they give free tickets, you go sit on a stand, you watch games the way they play. So the bigger job and qualities of Zappa, and now we really they can see them. We don't kind of the big scene. That all go low.
You get the Yap fans there. FC Eastern Lions, the other name are the Killers, and the other name are FC Yap.
Yeah, now we go really, they can't know if Coach Zappa really has it all, because managing Eastern Lions, you know what it takes, Magdalene. You get for be tactically fit for make you able to control both the players and that of the fans. Because when Eastern Lions they play for not only the players and they play, the fans themselves they play.
Lions and Joko, Lions fan and Manchester fan are the same. And they blast coach and they blast player. Then they stone the boss. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So we use
Dunia last year.
Please don't go there.
I will never. Yemi is one of my best players. I like him for his intelligence, his discipline, and very, 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 very composed guy. So now we're gonna have to with Salone players them abroad before we can look at international football news brief. Then we go say bye. We see Bayern Munich. The biggest news is that Bayern Munich don't set sight on Sierra Leone winger Moses Touré. This is a news within plenty website, and French journalists then break the news because the player play for Troyes now France. So Moses getting first call up to the Leone Star squad inside the international friendly where we play in the friendly matches, if you can recall, where Sierra Leone play against Congo. Is it Congo?
Yeah.
Yes, Congo.
Yeah.
And that's of the one where we play against where else? Was it South Africa?
South
We lost
Africa.
7-0 in both.
Yeah.
But it was one of the players that John Kista called to join the squad for the first time, and we see lots of clubs, them about 8 clubs where they mention don't they show interest for sign the Sierra Leone prospect.
Yeah, Magdalene. I follow up this story concerning and Moses story, and when I look at this player attribute, Magdalene, it raised me attention, bring my attention back to Yemi Dunia. Because this is one player with me that they talk about. He can play right back, left back, and even he can play center midfield. And one of the players that we always don't see don't perform that role in a Salone, like Yemi Dunia. He can play right back, center defense, left back, and he can even manage himself at the center midfield. You see, so I've been telling you one thing that Magdalene, Sierra Leone at the hub, neither the African Brazil. We really get potentials in Magdalene.
Emmanuel.
It's about the opportunity. The potentials are there, Magdalene.
No, I know how they reach Brazil it. I want to say the West Africa, Egypt.
Oh,
Should we put it that way?
Okay,
The West Africa,
right.
Egypt.
All right. But trust me, let's take it. Okay, with the West African Egypt,
Yes.
we really did do extremely well in terms of we youth system, Magdalene. Now, when they move up to the senior level, now the problem can they the consistency and performance the drop. But this now welcoming news for we, for see we own green, white, and blue brother move up to that height there in a career. Now step up in news for we, and it shows that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for we Salone brothers when they play this football. That those will be the take and say not just a walk into the park or whatsoever else. No, it's a business now. You have to be serious about it. And if you're not in it for any seriousness, count it yourself out. That now football, if you are in it, you have to take it serious and ready for show good performance at any time you are called upon. Because you don't know that they watch you. See, we brought after representing, we can't see Sierra Leone with the next follow up. Big teams and begin pick up in the Raiders, besides of the international performance. So you never know what can happen. Every single match in soccer is vital because you don't know whose eyes is on you. So it's a welcoming news for everybody, and I wish him well because it's a transition for going to the team B before we make an up again to the team A. So
that's
it's a
what
good
they
part
want
for
to
them.
do. But among the 8 teams, like I say, you get Bayern Munich, where they're one of the biggest team them in Europe, Champions League team winners, and though the one, if according to the story, like you say, when they get and they want for starter from the team B or team 2, if we can put them that way, but that will be a good process for them. But also that team they will show interest so far, according to the French media, now that Borussia Mönchengladbach, Eintracht Frankfurt, SC Freiburg, Hamburger SV, OGC Nice, Lille OSC, and SS Lazio, they're all interested in the player. But the player and club where they play for, where Troy, so they said they're under the group, the City group, the guys that where they manage Man City, then call them group, the City group or so. So that group, that team, they under them. So other people they look at and say can get even an advantage for play for one of the clubs that were under the City group, including we own Melbourne City now, yeah. But I don't go like Kaya. I go to somewhere else. So also the player not just 18-year-old winger, and he get this kind of interest so far where don't cut the eyes of top clubs them na Europe, where means say Toure na a prospect for Sierra Leone. Now, Emmanuel, among them teams are all true. If you look at Toure in terms of development, Usa I think say if I make the choice for go.
And Magdalene, for my experience within the German league, I think the Bayern Munich get a very good system. And even when you go Germany, I will tell you, see, and within the Munich, most of the sporting activities have been centered there. Then after which, maybe you can go down to Dusseldorf. So for me, I believe Munich could be one of the best interests for me for go there by virtue of the status and the ranking within the football in Germany and out of Germany. So it can go into Munich and develop and get a very good resume, Magdalene, when he can use it and step up into any league and become outstanding. So with Munich, they get a very good transitional path when they can build up. It's either make her into the team A or he can move out and play in any other team A and become outstanding, whereby you not go fall. Then you rush out there without that, developmental aspect of soccer and he fall, he go down to zero. Where in Munich, then cable builder, he reach the peak. If you not make into the team A, it can go out there into anything that they Bayern Mönchengladbach, Frankfurt and the like, and make it out there. So for me, I'll prefer for make it take the offer from Bayern Munich and develop in career pathway.
Okay, all right. That's it for Moses, and also inside the performance of international players. Now that Augustine Williams, we know say if we don't get a good spell this season, a good run, a very good form inside the league where they play for the club Charleston Battery, now the USL League, now America, and yes, he also gets an addition goal. We don't take in tally to 16 goals of the season. Although that not reflect to the national team call-up, but that's football. So waiting now you take, and we also Usman Kake being there for provide a vital assist for help QPR beat Reading inside the English Championship, English Quebec Championship, 2-1 yesterday, and that's began for move them to third place. Now the table, although all the teams there within the top three, they all get the same points when at 24, and they don't play same matches when at 14 matches each. But as of now, Reading there in a position where if they say the league done today, they can be one of the teams that will get a chance for come to the Premier League. Pardon me, QPR.
Yeah, Magdalene, and we all know how competitive the English league are like, especially Magdalene, when you play the championship, saying they play a lot of matches and down there. And if you're not fit, you cannot make it there. We even see when the Premier League teams and the play the championship teams, and most of the time they can struggle. It takes like maturity before they can dominate some of these teams and down there and experience. So it's good like seeing our brothers playing the championship in England, and I hope Sekake will keep up with the good work. He's a prospect. He'd always come and show we good.
Yeah, I think he gets a good competition. It gets a good competition where they'll make it step up, because with Italian lad from Manchester United, the academy boy, where they play right back, I think, and lad don't get lots of game time than Kake so far this season. So seeing that will make him improve, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And even and Moses too is a very good flanker also. So we don't get people where can replace anybody will make mistake again, and some of them critical positions and they. So at least that again they're able for help with borders and for step up their games and do extremely well. And that competition not the only push you for make your game go forward, but it'll also change your level of representation, because when your game go forward, Magda, what's happen? Who might know you might end up for moving to it in the Premier League. So that challenge did only push you to another level, not only for yourself, but your family and tomorrow for celebrate you. And when we also as a nation, Sierra Leone, we go glad for say, hey, can I explain the English Premier League, which is extremely good for we. Then the USL League, Magdalene, I always tell people that if you score 16 goals, Fairway and Cotton come and play inside the English Premier League. And then you see how competitive it is. Good one for me, brother. They play in the United States. But Magdalene, trust me, I want for Subi brothers and Kandong inside you. And you know,
All
say
right.
that they led them very hard today.
All right, Emmanuel, I just see you message. Thanks. I think we got the cutting to that. And I know Jabi wanted to talk about Manchester, featuring Manchester, no way. And for you, Coach Musa Ibrahim, no worries. Coach, you said that Easter Lions, Coach, you want to be part of the show next week. No problem. Just DM me. I'll go send you an invite for joining when you can talk about your goalkeeping school. And say Maggie, you know, say we still there up. Yes, everybody knows say Arsenal they up. Prince Becca, they say so proud of FC Salone. Of course, everybody proud of them. Same for Rich Bow, and keep up the good work from Suleiman Ba, and they say get very impressive. Yes, Suleiman the cyclist, they don't turn on a career to veteran. But anyway, God go fair to na case me brother. Cycling Association, one of the most useless association at Sierra Leone for over 7 years. No election, no executive, no management, and just they kill the athlete and the cyclist their career every day. But we will look into that in subsequent program. Until then, thanks Emmanuel and thanks to we viewers. We go give una international sports news next week as people then they ask why we not can go there one at a time. But we go try next week. Until then, Emmanuel, have a blessed night.
Thank you, Magdalene. It's always a pleasure to be here.